when you said that they sometimes get to a place where they're coming up on that 90 days and they're like, oh, okay, I need I'll apply for a Schengen visa, right? But that's, not something that's really an option for them. What can be done in those cases, or can anything be done?
At that stage, when they're already nearing that those 90 out of 80 days, in most cases, there is not much we can do. Because I said, you cannot extend it by just obtaining a Schengen visa. The only thing that we can look at is if this person will be traveling a lot to one particular country within the EU, within Schengen. They might be, well, in Schengen, this specifically in this example. What we can do is look at if it's possible for this person to obtain a residence permit for that specific country, so that at least the travel to that country will fall outside of that 90 out of 80 days going forward. So that's a way of allowing them at least to be spending some time in Europe, but that would only be for that specific country that they would then be able to spend time outside of the 90 out of 80 days of Schengen. So at that point in time, it's really not much we can do. So what we usually try to do, at least, is then work with the company to ensure that they understand what those restrictions are and that they start planning ahead, so that instead of coming to us when people are already nearing the 90 out of 80 days, that they actually already coming to us a year before that, when they start seeing that people will probably be traveling to a lot of different countries for extended periods of time, to see whether or not, for one, if they need work authorization for what they're doing, but secondly, will they stay within 90 out of 80 days? Or if not, are there ways to maybe combine different visits to different countries so that we can obtain a residence permit for them? And I had an example, a very good example last year of that, where indeed the company did that. They had this person that was going to travel throughout 2023 to, I think, about 8 different countries. Some countries they went to multiple times. I think it was durations between 1 week and 4 weeks at a time. And they asked us to look at what the possibilities were. And we looked at the work authorization part of things. And then also if in those countries where they were going multiple times, if it was possible in that country to obtain a residence permit that was covering them from the start of that first trip until the end of the last trip, so that any time spent in that country would fall out of the 90 out of 180 days. And with that, we indeed found a country where that was possible within the restrictions that they had, which allowed them then to travel to all the other countries on either Schengen status, where the activities that they wanted to do were allowed, or with just obtaining a short-term work permit for them to at least cover them from the work authorization side of things. So that is an example that really all companies should be doing, thinking that way ahead, because then you can plan for these things, because also those permits take time to obtain. It's not you can come to me now and say, okay, well, next month I need to be in this country, please help me, because in most countries, those processes take much more time than just 1 month as well. So you just need to really be ahead of the game and start planning ahead. So that's what we're trying to do with companies like that are coming to us. We cannot do a lot for those people at that point in time, but we can help them prevent this same thing happening going forward.
Seems like that's the major theme here is, to be successful in immigration and when you're doing business outside of the country, planning ahead is like a non-negotiable.
Absolutely.